Hi and welcome. This is Angela, and I've been offline for quite a bit. And this video is to just introduce what I'll be doing back in 2020 with my YouTube channel. And this video in particular is to introduce a weekly live stream on YouTube where I will be answering questions about how to love and healing. So I'm looking for any questions that you might have. Those who subscribe to the channel will get their questions answered in the weekly videos. This time right now it will be Mondays Sydney time at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, lunch times. Mondays 1 o'clock Sydney time in Australia, which roughly translates to anywhere from 9 p.m. US Eastern time and earlier or later. But because I'm in Australia, I'll be doing it at that 1 o'clock time in Australia, and it will change in other time zones throughout the year. I've recently been very sick and I'm lucky to be here. So I'm still organising how the channel will flow. My main passion is to share how I got through that sickness and why I would like to teach on loving relationships and healing. So you might have some questions about healing as well and what that has to do with loving relationships or making relationships grow or flow or function. Not everybody believes that relationships are actually possible to function well, and in our culture for thousands of years we've had a lot of cynicism about relationships being loving, for longevity, romantic relationships, parent relationships, sibling relationships, and parent and child relationships. We've had a lot of cynicism or expectation that they won't function in our culture for thousands of years. So how can we have this understanding or belief or attitude or hope that relationships can flow and they can grow and they can be successful and loving? Well, healing has a lot to do with that. So if you're not clear on what healing is, put a question about healing. How can healing help relationships? Healing's not about making you a better person that fits into what society wants or what your family wants or what you think you should be. Healing is about finding out what's not in alignment in you and discovering how to bring it back into alignment with the best part of yourself. The best part of yourself, you can put many labels on it. Some people like the term higher self. Some people will never relate to that term. So the best part of yourself is that part that came to life to discover more. And some of you may not be discovering great things. So you go, well, I don't want to discover more of this. So that's really important, because if you're suffering, you're meant to experience something more about yourself through the suffering, and it won't feel good. So healing can actually help you understand, how can I approach this so I can change it, or I can learn from it? I can feel somewhat more able to move through it if you are suffering. Doesn't mean it's all going to be happy and loving, but we can aspire to that still, even if things look really bleak. And I've been through terrible sickness and also heartbreak. I've also lost people. So I understand the depths of despair, but I do know through that loving relationships can happen, even if you think they can't. So there's an irony in there. Even when we think relationships are really bad, we can discover something. And through staying with that process of discovery, your relationships can transform, because you transform. So looking forward to sharing Monday's Love Oracle with you. And put your questions under this video. I'm still learning how to deal with the internet with my post-cancer brain, and I'm still learning how to function in the real world with my survivor from surgery and illness brain and body. And the pieces will come together, but not maybe as I would hope to be functioning. So if I don't get to your questions, just ping me somehow and I will get to them when I get to them. Subscribing will be the perhaps fastest way to get me to notice your questions. So I hope to join with you on Mondays and keep aspiring to the love and the relationships that you desire.